and welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is Christopher Carnicelli.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, Christopher.
Thank you for having me tonight.
And Robert Thomas Morphy II.
What a pleasure.
Good sir, it is good to have you here. We have a comedy of errors that got us to this situation that we're currently in.
Today was a day.
I mean, comedy's strong.
Yeah.
It was. It started off with a phone call from Rob that his keyboard died.
And it didn't die.
It went.
It started typing on its own.
Yeah.
Entering things.
It was
When I would write
possessed.
words, it would write symbols instead. It just got fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an old-timey gaming keyboard that I inherited from my nephew, so who knows what kind of, like, crazy fucking Fortnite bullshit it's been through, or I don't know.
There's probably just a hotkey that switched it. And
Probably.
So I did notice his
That's
keyboard.
funny.
His keyboard has two USB plugs on it that it plugs in into both ports, and I'd never seen that before. So I was like, I don't know, that's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, does it need? Oh, must have something on there then. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
about
So
gaming
anyway,
keyboards, but-
Mark kindly brings over, God rest his soul, his grandfather's old keyboard, which is jet black with gigantic bright yellow keys with the letters like at least 11 times bigger than I've ever seen them.
It's a keyboard for old people.
But I was so grateful because I'm like, all right, now I can finish my fucking story. And it was a doozy. And then literally 10 minutes after he left, complete blackout.
Complete power went out.
And of course, I hadn't saved in 10 minutes. It's neither here nor there. I have all my notes. So I'm like, well, that fucking blows.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? We're here. We're doing it. And we're going to give some shout-outs to the good Patreon folks. And then we're going to jump into the stories, Robert.
And you know what? I'm excited.
What's that?
The 100 proof bonded bourbon we're sipping now, it's official. After the summer frolic with the vodka, autumn is rocking deep, like you're saying, the full celebration, as you mention every week. And I'm really happy to say the bourbon's back, everybody. So
Yeah, bourbon never left me.
well, I mean, it never really leaves my heart, but sometimes I go for the lighter, fun of the vodka
vodka's just
summer.
not my jam. I do not
It's just
like
so
it.
mixable. It's
It is.
infinitely
But-
mixable, but I love bourbon. Obviously,
Well,
that's
that's what I'd rather have straight bourbon than like a soda in a vodka or a juice in a vodka.
I can
Like,
dig
for
that.
me. Like
There
I
you
just
go.
love bourbon. It's complex, tasty.
So here we go. Back in bourbon, back in black. October's here. And we got patrons to thank.
Let's thank 'em.
Patrons that are very likely the ones who paid for this bourbon. So thank you.
There you go.
Dan Blakesley,
Thank you, Dan.
Rusty Wood,
Oh, yeah, Rusty.
Solar Flare with numbers.
Interesting.
Yes, I like that. Well done. Jamila,
What up, Jamila?
Rock,
What up, Rock or Rach?
Rach.
Rach.
Oh, maybe
Rat.
Rach. If it's Rachel,
Like
it could
Rachel,
be Rach.
yeah.
Rach. Okay, cool.
I was doing it like the k, but you know what? Let's go with Rach. And if
I
I'm
like-
wrong,
Yeah,
let
you
us
did the
know.
old Germanic.
Yeah, rock.
That's probably rock.
Nice.
Ben Forshaw
What up, Ben?
robbed morphine.
Robbed morphine. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Crisp corn and selling.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Marth spores.
I see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
All right.
Phil
Thank you.
Schultz.
Phil Schultz, thank you so much.
Philip. David Davidson.
Yeah, Mr. Davidson.
That's how you do it.
There it is.
Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth.
Thanks for coming, Liz. It's about time. Ashton Jennings.
Thank you so much, Aston.
And we're going for a double Ben.
Oh.
Ben Francis.
Oh, the Ben squared. Ben
Oh,
Francis. Thank you so
man.
much.
Thank you guys, one and all. Thank you, everyone else who is currently supporting. And thank you, the future supporters, because I know you're out there.
Yeah. Did those three people get together and
I think
to do this?
I'm almost positive it was the same person, I think.
Oh, really?
I think they
Did they sign up, unsign up, sign up again?
I think so.
Sign up again.
I think they
Right in a
did.
row?
I think they may have. I think so. I'm not sure.
That
but,
is something else.
that is something
I didn't
else.
get it. Like I saw Rob's was immediate, and then
Right.
I saw Mars Spores. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, and then I saw the one before because I skipped over mine.
Crisp
I'm like,
corn
oh Jesus
selling.
Christ. Okay.
Yep. So there it is. Boom.
Well done.
Thank you for your $1 and or $5. We appreciate it. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. You can sign up there. Actually, coming up for the Discord, actually, we do have a movie night, and I have that in my notes, which I'm getting to right now, and that is going to be I'm still looking for my notes. Hold on, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be October 21st.
Oh, you guys remembered it?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Look at us
Well,
doubling
wow.
up. We're a
All
double
right.
mint commercial.
We don't
Thank you.
depend on our iPhones, Mark.
I mean, I just didn't know the date. I don't write things down on paper and keep them in my pocket.
Wow.
Sorry. Sorry.
I don't write things on paper and keep them in my
Was that
pocket
like
to
a
remember
diss?
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not the flex you think it is, I don't think.
Anyway, as Christopher and Robert both stated, October 21st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Prince of Darkness on the Discord. Check it out. You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that wasn't the flex I thought it was.
God.
Whatever. I'm going to start keeping a fucking notepad with
Yeah, way
me.
to go, ballpoint. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't keep parchment in fucking quill.
Job number 2 pencil.
Neither do I.
Oh, shit. All right. So, as mentioned, we had a whole situation with Robert today, but thankfully we do have our old standby buddy here, Mr. Adam Benedict from the Pine Barrens Institute.
Yes.
Prolific.
Yes,
Adam
he.
Benedict.
Savior.
The stories this week are going to be coming out from his book, Monsters in Print, a collection of curious creatures known mostly from newspapers.
And if you don't have it,
Check it out.
Remedy that immediately.
Yeah, actually, in the description of this podcast, we're going to have links to all of Adam's stuff, including his other 2 books, Ghosts in Print, and
Dope.
the recently released one, Oddities in Print, which I need to get myself a copy
Yeah,
of
me too.
immediately. I'm going to order one
I'm
myself,
so excited.
So check that out. And again,
Great
Adam,
resources. Really fun to read.
No, totally. Adam is a fucking awesome dude. Check him out again at the Pine Barrens Institute in the description of this podcast. All those links. Robert, let's get started.
So as you can tell, we'll take a picture of it. I don't dog ear my books. I never fold pages. That's sacrosanct, and I don't fuck with books. But I take little Post-it notes, and I make a fuck ton of little bookmarks. We're cutting them up with scissors.
Yep.
And it is riddled with it. So I just pop through the book when I realize the electricity's gone. I'm fucked for writing today. And I went back to the source, and we found some fun ones, just some random ones. I just opened them up to random stories. So this is what you're going to get, basically a Mystery Bag Monday triple hitter.
None of us know.
No.
And we're going to begin with vampirism in Servia, not Serbia, Servia.
Serbia.
And this is a story from the Cincinnati Daily Star, August 14th, 1876,
Oh,
Ohio.
okay.
Dang.
In Servia, as in most Slavonic countries, and I've got to say, I don't know like what Eastern Europe was like in the 1800s. I'm not a historian. I'm sure Servia was a country. I've never heard the phrase Slavonic before, but what the fuck? Let's go with this.
We're here. Let's do it.
In this place exists a popular belief in vampires. Dead folk who quit their graves at night to torment the living quit their graves.
You know what? I quit.
I'm fucking out of here. Take this job and shove it.
The signs by which the vampire is known are the preservation of the body for a long time after it should have decayed, the fluidity of the blood, and the suppleness of the limbs. Prosper Murmy, in the course of his travels, that's a name. That is a name.
Yeah, Prosper Mirami.
Okay.
Wow. Was witness of a case of alleged vampirism, which he describes as follows. So now we're going to the Murmy Chronicles. Take it away, Prosper. In 1816, I was traveling on foot in the Vargaras and chanced to stop at the village of Varboska. It sounds like someone's making bad up Russian made-up towns, like an 80s comedy bit. My host was one Vuk Poglanovich. Vuk.
Fuck.
I like it.
Well-to-do for the region, a good fellow, and sufficiently drunken. Yes.
Man, I love this.
Triple
already.
threat.
All of this.
Nice.
His wife was yet young and fair, and his daughter, a girl of 16, charming. I would have remained with him for several days in order to study the ruins in the neighborhood, but he would not rent me a room, insisting that I should be his guest, and that as this involved holding my own with him at the wine after dinner, true relation was not particularly pleasant. Again, it's the wording of the time. Prosper is a poet, I guess.
He's something.
They
Holy shit.
They had some drinks, and he just like, this sucks.
I guess
This
he's like,
guy
I can't
sucks.
really relate to this fucking dude because we're just getting shit-faced every day and I want to fucking study my ruins, but
When you're
be
in
that as it
Slavic
may.
town and you're hammered and the guy's talking, he's probably like one of those like real close talkers.
And
where
he's
probably
rich, he's
stinks.
prosperous, he owns everything.
Yeah, and he's just, oh God, just diabetes breath all over you. It's
Oh,
gross.
my gosh.
It's disgusting.
One evening, the women had left us about an hour and to avoid being compelled to drink, I was singing to my host.
He's a bard.
I'm going to start doing that to you.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
hey, Rob, I'm going to sing you a
Let's
song.
drink. No!
I'm going to sing you a song, Bobby.
When the conversation gets bad, just be like, "Sweet home Alabama."
Oh, here she comes.
Singing it wrong so it gets serious.
Watch out, Rob. She'll chew you up.
Dude, it's working already.
There you go. See?
Whoa.
Well, you are an AA meeting.
Wow. You are oats.
So,
Will
again.
you be my hall?
Oh, that's
I don't-
adorable.
I don't want to be Hall.
As he's singing to his host,
Yep.
when we were, as I was singing to the host, when we were startled by the most fearful cries from the sleeping apartment, which, as is the custom of the country, was occupied by the whole household in common. Arming ourselves, we hurried thither, and beheld a frightful sight. The mother, pale and haggard, holding her still more pallid daughter, who was stretched on her straw bed as if dead. The woman was shrieking without pause, "A vampire! A vampire! My poor child is dead."
Oh, Jesus.
With great difficulty, we restored Kava to consciousness. I'm assuming that's the 16-year-old daughter's name. She had, she said, seen the window opened, and a man, pale as ashes and wrapped in a winding sheet, had flung himself upon her, bitten her, and strived to strangle. She was only able to shriek aloud when the spectre fled, and she swooned away. But she fancied that she had recognized in its features those of a villager named, and this is going to be a challenge, Witch's Nanny? It's Wiecznay. Now, our good buddy Dan Tkach, that's Tkacz.
Yep.
It's not Tkaz, as is often mispronounced. It's Tkach.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with Weech Nanny. It's going to be Weech Nanny.
But it works for me, dude.
Yeah. Watch nanny.
They're not going to send us an email.
Watch nanny.
And if they
You
do,
don't think Watch Nanny's going to come at us
if they
hard?
do, we're not going to reply. Don't worry.
All right, I'm going with Weech Nanny.
Weech Nanny. Love it.
Okay. Who had been dead about a fortnight. There was a small red spot on her throat, but I did not know whether it might not be a natural mark or the result of the bite of an insect during the girl's nightmare. So it's interesting that Prosper is assuming
Okay.
bad dream,
Yeah.
mosquito bite,
Yeah.
superstitious small
Instant
town.
malaria. It happens.
Sure. When, however, I hazarded this conjecture, the father rejected it sullenly. The girl wept piteously, and wringing her hands and rocking to and fro, kept repeating, "Alas, to die so young and before one's wedding day." That's sad when a 16-year-old kid is fucking in this state. While the mother loaded me with reproaches, declaring that she had herself seen the vampire and known it to be Weech Nanny, I considered it, therefore, the part of prudence to be silent. All the amulets in the village were soon hung around the sufferer's neck, and her father took an oath the next day that he would disinter the corpse of Weech Nanny and burn it. Thus the night passed in an excitement that nothing could allay. At daybreak the next morning, the whole village was out, the men armed with muskets or hangers. I don't know why I find that funny. I'm sure it's not what I'm thinking, like a pile of wire hangers that are pissing off Mommy Dearest. I'm sure it's something like a farming implement with a sharp end, but I have no idea what that is.
Hangers. Yeah.
Muskets and hangers. Tailors and warriors.
There you
They're in the
go.
posse. The women bearing heated irons and the children sticks and stones.
Getting the kids involved. All right.
Yeah, they're always a kid with stones. Come on, we know.
Yeah. Huck a rock.
With cries of rage against the dead man, they all thronged to the graveyard. It was with great difficulty that I could obtain and retain a position whence I could witness the ceremony of exhumation. It was slow, for as we all strove to take part in it, each interfered with the other, and not a few serious wounds would have been inflicted by a pick or shovel had not the elders ordered 2 men only to complete the work. Everyone's so excited to disinter the corpse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is the big shit. This is better than Christmas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's Vampire Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, Vampire Christmas.
There it is.
That'd be a cool name for a band. Nah, there's already a band called like Vampire Weekend or something like that.
probably.
Yeah, shit. I fucked up. No, you're right. You're
It's
right.
kind of cringe.
I'm not betting 1,000 today, buddy.
It's been a tough day for
It's
everybody.
been a tough day.
At the moment that the shroud was unrolled, a horrible cry fairly raised my hair on end. It proceeded from a woman by my side. "It is a vampire," she shrieked. "The worms have not eaten it."
Oh, evidence.
And her words were taken up by 100 mouths. 20 musket shots shattered the head of the corpse to fragments. Oh my God.
If we're talking about a musket as in like a fucking
shit.
musket ball,
That's what I'm like.
I
The
mean,
big-
a
the
musket.
bell bottom end, the whole 9
there
yards.
is nothing left of those fucking balls. Are super fucking gnarly
Yeah,
shells.
20 shots point blank range at a
There's-
desiccated corpse.
The coffin is gone.
It's just like a
There's-
puff of dust.
Yeah,
Nothing.
There's just no ears left or nothing.
It's amazing.
20 muskets in the face.
While the father and relatives of Kava hacked the body savagely with their long knives, and the women dipped linen clothes in the red liquid that oozed from the wounds to apply to the sufferer's throat. Blood from the newly
dead?
shot vampire
Yeah, really.
being applied to the wound allegedly created by the vampire is not a cure I think I've ever come across in any of the movies or lore I've
yeah,
read.
I've not heard of
This
that.
is some
but-
deep-rooted Slavic shit, dude. This is what they do back in the old country.
No shit.
You mean
Smear your-
Slavonic?
Slavonic.
Yeah.
According
Yeah.
to the story.
Keep it right.
Yeah.
The body was dragged from the grave and firmly tied to the trunk of a small tree that had been cut down and prepared, then drawn to the house of Poglanovich, where a pile of sticks and straw had been erected. Fire was set to it and the body tossed into the flames, while the people yelling madly danced around the pyre.
This is getting pretty fucking hectic here. Okay, cool.
The abominable stench from the burning flesh soon compelled me to take refuge in the house. The house was crowded with visitors, the men all puffing at their pipes, the women all speaking at once and overwhelming with questions the sick girl, who sat pale and stupefied, the blood-soaked bandages around her neck forming a ghastly contrast with her white, half-naked shoulders. It's almost like a Jean Rollin film, like one of those weird Euro trash horror films from the 70s where it's all these striking images and it doesn't make any sense and it's fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
Little by little, the crowd diminished till we were left alone. Kava grew more and more uneasy as night came on, and insisted that someone should watch by her bedside, constantly. As her parents were worn out with fatigue and excitement, I offered my services as nurse, and they accepted gratefully. I shall never forget the nights I spent by the bedside of this unfortunate girl. The creaking of a board, the very murmur of the wind made her start and shudder. She could not fall into a doze without seeing visions of horror, and from time to time would waken with a fearful start and cry in anguish. She had had one horrible dream, and the village gossips had succeeded in completing the ruin of her mind by narrating to her all of the frightful stories about vampires that they could remember or invent. That is fucking barbaric.
Like, why would you be dickheads like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you there's telling her stories about vampires?
To me,
Like,
this is
why-
like those exorcisms that go wrong. Part of
Yeah.
it is belief. Part of it is obviously
Okay.
abuse by the people performing the exorcism. So that's not a great analogy. But
Right.
like people that die when they're cursed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fuck with curses. They're like demons. I don't technically believe in them, but I'm not going to fuck around.
Totally.
But if you believe enough, like people have died without any physical reason
Yeah.
to die simply because they've been told they're going to die in a week
Mhm.
and they believe it.
You can definitely cardiac arrest yourself.
Yes.
For sure.
100%.
And if you're a superstitious child in a a remote, isolated village where everyone believes in this, you're wrapped in corpse blood scarves, and it's dripping down your fucking body, and it has to feel filthy, and you feel like you're corrupt and vile, even if it was just a nightmare about a dead guy,
Mhm.
even if it wasn't real, or some weird sexual pervert coming in and trying to molest you, but in the darkness it looks vaguely like a man who
Yeah.
died a fortnight ago.
So are they telling her the stories to keep her awake? I don't understand.
I don't
like,
know. Or
what's-
I don't think they're being. I think they're trying to relate to her like just the things that can happen, not realizing the damage they're doing.
Probably be like, I heard this, thinking like they're helping. Like,
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
but like Prosper
Alright.
says, they're just completing the ruin of her mind
Okay, well.
by narrating this evil shit. Okay. Often, as she felt her eyes closing, she would say to me, "For God's sake, do not sleep. Take my rosary in one hand and your saber in the other and watch over me." Nor would she sleep save her two hands locked about my arm, locked so tightly that the convulsive grip of her fingers would leave livid marks in my flesh. Nothing could distract her mind. She was abjectly afraid of death and believed that she must certainly perish. That's so fucking sad. In a few days, she became shockingly thin. Her lips were colorless and livid. Her great black eyes seemed even larger and more brilliant. She was a pitiable thing to see. I tried to impress her imagination by feigning to believe as she did, but unhappily, as I had at first derided her credulity, I could not easily gain her confidence. I told her, however, that I was possessed of a patent charm against evil spirits, and that if she desired it, I would pronounce it. At first, her natural unselfishness and gentleness would not permit her to allow me to draw the wrath of heaven on myself. I don't know if a vampire attacks the wrath of heaven, but leave that. But finally, the fear of death overcame her scruples, and she implored me to try my spell. I pronounced loudly and solemnly some lines of Racine as an invocation. Capital R-A-C-I-N-E. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's a Bible reference or what. Then, after rubbing her neck, pretended to draw therefrom a small red agate I had concealed between my fingers, and assured her gravely that I had removed the source of her illness and that she was saved. But with a sad smile she said, "You have deceived me. You had that stone in a little casket. I had seen it before. You are not a magician." The worst part about that is that fucking had he fooled her, it might have done the trick.
Well, I mean, she called him out on his bullshit. You ain't a magician. Get the fuck out of here.
He continues.
Tomlin.
Jesus Christ. Thus my ruse did her more harm than good. From that moment, she grew worse rapidly.
He fucked the pooch on this one.
He tried.
Yeah, well.
Come on. Prosper's trying to do the right thing here.
Prosper, Tomlin, whatever.
On the night before her death, she said to me, "If I die, it is my own fault. My lover," and she named one of the young men in the village, "wished me to elope with him, but I would not and asked him to bring me a silver chain. He went to Markoska to buy me one, and it was then that the vampire came. After all, if I had not been at the house, it might have killed my mother, so perhaps it is for the best." Next day, she made her father promise himself to cut her throat and open her veins after death, that she might not also become a vampire. She would have no other hand but his, to commit upon her corpse these needless atrocities. Then, embracing her mother, she desired her to take a rosary to the tomb of a local hermit or saint, there to sanctify it, then bring it back to her. I could not fail to admire this peasant's thoughtfulness in finding such a pretext to keep her mother from witnessing her dying agonies. So she's sending her mother away to get some shit blessed.
I can do a couple things.
Hey, Ma.
Give me some bread. Get the right milk this time. That's for Chris.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
We won't even go there. She took an amulet from her neck and gave it to me. "Keep it," she said, "and may it do you more good than it has done me." She then received the sacrament devoutly. Shortly thereafter, her breathing became more difficult and her eyes glazed. Suddenly, she seized her father's arm and made an effort as if to cast herself upon his breast, then ceased to live. Her sickness had lasted 11 days. A few hours later, I had left the village behind me, consigning heartily to the devil, vampires, and all who believe in them.
Oh, man.
So Prosper's not having it because he's enlightened enough at this point in the late 1800s to be like, this was hysteria, belief that drove her to it.
That's what
now, maybe she really did get bit by a vampire. Maybe this shit was inevitable. Maybe she came back from the dead, or maybe her dad opened up her veins and they did all the right rituals and she didn't. But I'm inclined to err on the side of Prosper this one time.
No, yeah, I mean...
she did die of some illness from 11 days, which, I mean...
self-induced starvation, believing you're damned, believing you're corrupt.
Not sleeping.
Not sleeping, panic.
I was thinking maybe rabies or something like that, but,
I mean, if she was bit by a rabid weasel.
Or even, if the dude jumped in the room and bit her and he was all fucked up from something, well, no, I don't think that's how rabies really works.
Well, I assume if you get bit by a rabid human being, you can contract it. I assume.
No, you can,
but you don't,
for sure.
I mean, you don't really hear about that a lot.
No, because people just normally.
No.
They just die. Yeah.
But I don't think this is hydrophobia.
No. It sounds like it's like you were saying, a case of like mass hysteria, where this poor girl just fucking shriveled up and died because she thought she was going to.
Because that's
which is
what's
going
to happen. I mean, from day one, she's like, you know, and me unmarried and fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was it. She just took the L. She's like, I'm out.
So she did not fight for life.
No.
She did not believe in the shit. I mean, Prosper tried his little half-ass fucking David Blainery, and that fucking failed massively.
Yeah, I mean, I just would have made something up completely different that nobody could have known on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
really.
be like, I'm going to say a couple things here.
Yeah, if the power of Christ compels you, motherfucker, here you go, you're saved. Woo! Woohoo!
But, you know,
Come on
centuries, if not a millennia of tradition,
That'll get to you, man.
runs deep.
Yeah, dude. Well,
So, I mean, it's fascinating. If it's true,
sucks.
it's tragic.
Yeah. I mean, then again, apparently they did open the casket and the dude was, you know, there.
Yeah.
Dead body.
Okay.
They just
Yeah,
shot the
so
shit.
Exactly what does that prove?
Nothing,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
I mean, the musket attack is hilarious.
The musket attack's probably my favorite part, honestly.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
20
this is
musket.
great.
I mean, because this
20
plays
musket salute to
like,
the head.
like a comedy of errors, like 100 guys trying to dig a hole. Fucking everyone's knocking each other out. It's like a Blake Edwards comedy. It's like fucking Peter Sellers could have been in this and a handful of other fuckers. And it just could have gone nuts. This could have been like the heir apparent to, you know, Fearless Vampire Killers, the Roman Polanski film, but even more slapstick, except it has a terrible ending. But still, in the right hands at the right time.
There it is.
So, that's our first story.
All
Little
right.
tragic, little sweet,
There it is.
little food for thought.
Yeah. About vampires.
And it's about monsters.
There you go.
Old school, old-timey monsters. So we're going to move on to another story. Absolutely unrelated to vampires, I
Okay.
think. And I picked these out pretty quick. So our second tale in this Mystery Bag Monday is a terrible monster. This is from the Weekly Messenger, November 17th, 1900. We're getting into some modern times, some 20th century action, Louisiana. This one's short and sweet. It's interesting. In the vicinity of Whitestone Landing, New York, hometown, baby.
There you go.
I don't know why it was reported in Louisiana, but who gives a fuck? According to that voracious newspaper, the New York Sun, a frightful aquatic animal recently made its appearance and terrified the whole of the countryside. It has been seen, it is stated, by a dozen persons, each of whom gave a horrifying description of the monster's aspect. Combining their accounts, the new animal is a bird, reptile, and fish, all in one, with a high voltage of electricity to boot.
Dude, land, sea, and air, but electrified?
Electrified.
Cool.
This would fall into our hyper cryptids, I think,
Yeah.
or was it ultra cryptids? Which one had the powers?
I think ultra cryptids.
I think so too.
Maybe.
I think so. I don't know. We have so many goddamn
It's
weird
okay.
subcategories.
Sorry.
But whatever ones we've done with like the electro hopper and other things where they manifest powers that seem to be almost like out of a Marvel comic,
Right.
this one would definitely fit into that group.
Cool.
A 13-year-old boy describes it as a dark object with eyes like two red balls of fire, which gave off a green vapor. Fucking green vapor, red eye, like just
Sweet.
whoosh
Yeah.
out of the corners
the
of the
fuck?
eyes.
All right.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Its mouth is like that of a catfish, the lips tricking blue flame.
What is
Spring
happening
Hill
right
Jack,
now?
anybody?
Yeah, shit.
It walks with a feline tread and seems to have webbed feet. As the boy watched, too fascinated to move, the creature stood upon its hind feet, shot in and out a fiery tongue 3 times, which in a flash of an eye, with a great sizzling and whirring noise, not worry, shot up in the air like a skyrocket, shrouded in a thin, yellowish mist. So I can't help but think Nightcrawler,
Yeah.
like of the X-Men, like this is just this weird.
It's a fucking dragon horse. Remember Dragon Horse from D&D or Curine? They're kind of the same thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I vaguely do. I mean, I don't have as much D&D.
They almost Chinese. I mean, they have the little mustache.
The
like
the catfish like
has.
tendril. Yeah.
They fly. They have fucking breath. They have fucking
Oh, that's interesting.
reptile-ish bodies.
All right.
Do they have
And
webbed
yellow.
feet?
Yellow mist.
Not that it matters.
I don't know.
I mean, they might.
I feel like they more have like lizard in my mind.
Do they have like mist coming off of them, like magical vapors?
I'd have to read up on the monster manual. But
Well, I mean, I love that its
but
red
a
eyes
lot,
has
a lot of
green
it
mist.
reminded me of this though, of that creature.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yellow mist is kind of strange, but
It gets weirder.
okay.
Two boatmen who saw it swimming toward them thus report, quote, "A trail of purple fire and effervescing sprays of sparks marked its progress. 2 feet from the bow of the boat it dived, whereupon a geyser flaming with blood-red particles shot up 20 feet in the air," end quote. That is a fucking lot
Okay, well,
going
yeah, I
on.
don't think Dragon Horse is going in the water, but
Yeah, wow.
So what's interesting, too, again, is this maybe something biomechanical? Is this something maybe of alien origin or dimension hopping or time traveling? Is this something that is made to look organic or has a combination of organic and mechanical parts? Because if it's like a faulty mechanism that just happens to be integrated into organic matter, creating something that for all intents and purposes looks like a monster to anyone in our day and age, and if it's breaking down and, you know, oil type shit shooting out, so it's like a 20-foot geyser of blood-like particles or flames or smoke or sparks, all of that to me is like a shitty faulty robot, at least from an old 50s movie.
Yeah.
is this another one of those cases of the underground like steampunk movement we
Yeah.
randomly bring up when we come across shit like this?
Absolutely.
I think it might be, yeah.
Like
Dude,
some people just build crazy shit. I mean, it's 1900.
Yeah, oh yeah,
That's-
Inventor's
yes.
galore. Like Inventor is the dream
yeah.
job. That's the
Yeah.
hero of the age. The Edisons, less so the Teslas, even though that's
Heels
not
of the
fair.
century.
Right, exactly.
Like, I feel like it's on at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it could be, if especially being like if it has like electricity like that, like that's nothing that really happens.
Yeah, and sprays of sparks
Yeah.
and like smoke coming out. It doesn't matter if it's multicolored.
Like,
Who the
this
fuck
this thing
knows?
is breaking the fuck down in the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't the other thing. The last thing we talked about, something that was in the water too.
It
like
was,
something.
too.
It was a boat or
It
a
was like
submarine.
a
or,
giant,
something
it
that
was
came
like
out
a
of-
giant fish or something.
yeah,
right?
wasn't that like in the?
I remember that. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was an episode. I forgot.
I'm
how
drawing a
long.
blank. I don't.
It was a while. I mean, it was like
It
last
was.
year.
It was.
or something.
It was
I don't remember
like,
what the
yeah.
fuck it
I think it was
but-
from last year, and it was something in the water that it was kind of along the same thing, where like it was some weird
probably the last time we brought up
monster
steampunk stuff.
and, yeah,
right
and
on.
we're like, oh shit, maybe it was like someone like invented this thing or made it. All right, well,
It kicks me. I'm rarely stumped by that shit.
Let's see where it goes. Robert.
Regardless, the story continues. An elderly man, much respected in the community, saw it go up a tree like a squirrel. As it climbed, little clusters of sparks, snapping and cracking, shot off the end of its tail. A young woman saw it turning handsprings along the roadway, and 3 boys saw it running, walking, crawling, and fucking flying.
Jeez.
I add the fucking. The reporter did not write that.
Was this thing was just handspringing its way?
They like just dance like a circus performer. It's like, come on, everybody, one man show.
What is happening right now?
Just doing handsprings.
I mean, maybe it was designed to be an entertaining
yeah.
fucking monstrosity.
Okay.
Maybe it was part wizard, part machine. Like a young inventor just doesn't have the chops, so he turns to like some old, Romanian woman and is like, teach me the ways of fucking wizardry, and he calls up a half demon, but he can't do it right, so it's only like sundry parts that are alive despite all fucking organic principles to the contrary because it's powered by magic. So he fucking fills it with like steampunk metal shit, and so you got like a half demon shitbag robot fucking prancing around, fucking around, shooting sparks.
Yeah, just being all kinds of doing
I
all
have no
kinds of
idea. Is this like a proto Sam the Sandown Ghost Clown?
Oh my
But
God.
it's like
there you go.
Feature. Like he starts off at this,
Feature.
and then he gets smart, and he's like, I don't want to be a weird fucking cat thing, and then he makes
With
himself
yellow mist.
more human as time goes by.
I could totally see them palling around.
Like,
if he didn't evolve into Sam the Sandown Ghost Clown, I can definitely see like them being like best buddies in a road trip movie.
Oh, for sure. That'd be great.
And it can fucking fly and swim and walk and
Yeah.
crawl like a squirrel.
or some multiverse version of it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And don't forget the handsprings.
This accords, we'll be reading the last sentence here, very well with the descriptions which the Republican spellbinders in a recent campaign gave of the Calamity Demon. The Calamity Demon?
Oh, it has a
It's
name.
got
I
the best
love it.
name ever. I mean, it's not capitalized, but that's what we're calling it from now
Yeah.
on. That Mr. Bryan carried about with him in his grip sack. Okay.
Oh, Calamity Demon. I
Wait.
love this.
Okay.
You can't just end with that paragraph.
No.
Oh, they did.
Oh, the spellbinders in the recent
So the
campaign.
Republican
Calamity
wizards-
gave Mr. Bryan. Excuse me?
Like, where's the rest of this? at?
Dear fucking 1900, New York that says Louisiana. The fuck.
Yeah,
The serious fuck.
absolute fuck. Oh my
Who's
god.
Mr. Bryant? Why does he have a calamity demon? How does it resemble this thing?
How do I join the Spellbinders?
Oh, I know. That's the one
What the hell?
branch I could probably get involved in
I
politics.
want to do that. Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean, is there a Democratic branch, a Libertarian
there's
Spellbinders?
the Calamity Demon for you folks. Weird.
That is
All
just
right.
fucking
Well,
awesome.
I mean, they literally named
What
it.
the fuck
it's a
is
demon.
happening?
All right. I mean, it's a demon. It's a. They already they
It's a-
put
it's
it
a-
on Front Street.
I
Here you go.
I didn't even finish reading the article. Obviously, we threw this together quick. So when I was calling it a robot demon made for circus folks or whatever, I didn't realize that we were getting to the fucking nitty gritty of calamity demons, and I
Yeah.
am so happy about this.
Yeah, what just happened?
Fucking phenomenal. This is one of my favorite monsters of all time.
Honestly, I need to see this drawn immediately.
Oh
That's
my
fucking
gosh.
amazing.
Yeah, you know who we're hitting. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. Holy shit. All right, cool. Well,
Our
fucking
final
there it
tale.
is.
Our final wonderful tale. Again, I didn't finish this one either, but I was very excited. It's a tale of heroism, of boldly going against the madness of nature and saying, I am human. Hear me roar. Fuck off. This is my place.
Okay. All right. I
Whoa,
like,
all
I
right.
like your little speech there. I'm ready. Let's do it. Spellbinders unite, baby.
Bay Ridge sea monster has 4 sets of teeth, is the headline.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
The Evening World, July 21st, 1905, New York.
Oh,
Again,
you mean Louisiana?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Or anywhere?
New Louisiana.
Nebraska? I don't know.
And and in caps, one of the subheadings, it says, but the blooming beast is now shy 2 broken fangs that it fastened in the foot of a daredevil Englishman who fancies he may will them to the British Museum. My word.
I hate old-timey writing
Some dude
so
just
much.
kicked his
Oh,
face.
I love it.
He's got teeth in his boots.
What is the hate? I love it. This is phenomenal.
Teeth in
They
his
make the most
What it
gutter
says.
snipe bullshit into poetry.
Oh, God. I just.
My word.
Oh, all right.
You guys ready? You ready
Yeah.
to be blown away?
No,
blow my tits off,
Get
buddy.
in your 1905 mode. Reject the science.
Hear
Wear
me.
something tight. I don't even know what else you do. Get ready to step in horse shit everywhere
Yeah,
you go. It's
really.
1905 New York,
Polio,
everybody.
right? Polio.
Oh,
is a
yeah,
thing.
sure. Why not?
Cool.
You're going to have rickets. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it may as well. The sun doesn't exist. Cool. There you go.
I will continue. The world of science is going to be agitated over 2 slivers of bone which are now regarded by their possessor as the fangs of a sea monster. They are also offered to the universe as testimony to the universe.
Okay.
That's a more august body does not exist, as testimony of the fact that Bay Ridge was visited by a sea creature of uncanny appearance and conduct. Theophilus, thank you. Theophilus. All right, no, I'm getting it right. Theophilus. What are we going with?
Whatever you want to go with.
Theophilus Raleigh, a young Englishman who is sojourning at the 93rd Street and Shore Road, Bay Ridge, secured the teeth in a rather unusual manner. Quote, I got them in a deucedly lucky fashion, he says. And when his story is pondered on, his observation does not seem so far from wrong.
Deucedly lucky fashion.
Deuce.
Deucedly.
The douche, you say.
Man. If anyone ever said that to me, I'd be like, don't fucking talk to me.
Oh, come
Like,
on.
leave.
I said put on your 1905 pants
Yeah.
right now.
I'm going to
I'm
bring it back. There's
I mean,
nothing
polio,
you can do
see,
about it.
here we go. We got polio, folks. Polio for everybody.
There you
There you
go.
go. Hey, what's going on there? 1905 Mark here.
Oh, my gosh.
You
it's
sound
old-timey.
deucedly dumb. Deucedly.
I tried.
Second headline.
You did.
For any kid that maybe
It wasn't bad.
was a little chubby when they were young, a little big,
Okay.
it's going to ring a bell.
All right.
The second headline is a husky hero.
Yeah, that was
I
me.
was husky when
That
I was a boy.
I
husky.
So,
That's
but
why I
now
got-
we have a hero,
N-
and I think it's Theophilus.
That's why I got stretchy jeans. Because I'm a husky boy.
I love it. Mr. Raleigh is an athlete. Huge in bulk, he is all sinew and muscle, and he has the Liverpool record for lifting weights, having once lifted with both hands a bale of cotton that weighed a little short of a ton. Okay.
All right.
All right. It's
I
a
mean-
little Paul Bunyan-y.
Yeah, a little bit.
A
Okay.
little John Henry.
All right.
Lifted. Okay.
Who's real, I think.
Like
I
over his
mean-
head, or was it just like
You like-
just kind of?
Do you like deadlifted or something?
But still, like 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, how are you gonna
Yeah,
fucking
I
do
just- I mean,
that?
this is
Deadlift?
not.
I mean,
no, you're not. I
You
don't
got to use.
know.
Don't use your back. That's a leg lift.
Yeah,
That's a leg lift there.
Definitely lose your. You just use your balls to lift with.
Oh my
that
God.
one.
He is very fond of sea bathing and other outdoor sports. Sea bathing. I'll never say I'm going swimming again. So it's like, oh, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to go sea bathing. Even if it's in a fucking pool. That's all I'm ever going to say the rest of my life.
Like taking a fucking bath in the sea.
Well, sea bathing apparently in this case is an outdoor sport.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a sport.
No, I mean, it's clearly in the ocean. I mean,
He's
he's
clearly
probably
got 17
going to the
medals
fucking
in
sea.
it.
Yeah, after he's lifting 1,500 pounds with his dick. There you
Yeah,
go.
after lifts a ton of cotton.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Not
a literal
only
ton.
will he be sea bathing, but other outdoor sports are involved, as was mentioned. Though he has not decided when he will take his net plunge at Bay Ridge. I don't know what a net plunge is, but hey, what the hell. His last entrance into the waters of the Narrows was in the dark of the night, the hottest night of the year. Because of the rocks on the shore, he wore a pair of rubber-soled canvas shoes. But when he had waded out some distance, he struck out bravely for the float anchored in the bay. The rest of the story is best told in his own language. And here's where it gets even more fun. For he was the only one there when the singular thing happened. No shit. All right, we're getting into quotes now.
All right.
Really, it was all very annoying. I had been hot and angry at the climate all day. Oh, climate, you son of a bitch.
Boy.
And the water was very cooling. It was very dark, though, and pretty soon I began to see little wriggling things in the water. If I hadn't been a teetotaler, I would have thought I had them okay, it's the language. I'm doing my best. I would have thought I had them, though, when I think it all over, I grant it might have been the light filtering through the trees that made the wriggles. So he's sober.
Fair.
He's
Fair.
conceding that maybe he didn't see wriggly things. Could have been the light. But I was getting a bit squeamish when suddenly I felt something heavy jar against my right foot, which was dangling in the water from the raft. I jumped up trembling in every blooming limb of my body. I like that he can admit he's scared. That's Simon. You can lift half a ton? That's great. You fucking afraid of shit in the dark at the sea?
No, right.
You're a real mensch. I had hardly got in the middle of the raft when there was a rare commotion in the water about the float. A great object was whirling around in a circle like a fool dog after its tail. Suddenly, a great head, surely as big as the dome of St. Paul's, rose out of the water and leaned over me. We are now on to the section titled, An Awful Monster.
Oh, I cannot wait to see what this is.
I shivered all over with terror, for it was the most horrible sight. The thing had 4 rows of teeth in each jaw, and fully half a dozen eyes. Fully half a dozen.
Jesus, all right.
Probably 3 on each side.
Okay.
Going with
6
bilateral
eyes.
symmetry.
There you go. 6
Maybe
eyes.
4 and 2. That would be weird.
1 and 5.
Why not?
5.5. One.
this thing's
a
fucked
half.
up. Along its long neck were a lot of fiery hooples. Anyone want to help me out with that word?
No, not sign of the time, man.
That
Sign of
looked
the
like
time.
rings of gold. And from the collar down, it had 8 legs that it waved at me like so many flappers. So I guess fin legs? Fins?
Okay. No, he said legs.
Yeah, he said legs, but it might have been legs that, if you're like flappers,
It waved at me like so many flappers.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless you're talking about like the girls of the age, the dancing girls. But flappers was a 20 thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
yes.
Huh.
Pre-flapper.
All right.
All right.
He continues. I was right frightened, you may be sure, and stood rooted to the center of the raft, but the thing didn't do anything but stand there with its mouth open, making a noise that sounded like a chuckle. Then quite suddenly it dropped down into the water again and disappeared. I was sure the thing wanted to eat me, and just as sure that I didn't want to be eaten, don't you know? I should judge from the look of its head and neck that it was several 100 feet long and had hundreds of feet. So 8 arms, hundreds of feet.
Oh, so it's like a fucking weird centipede thing?
Okay.
There was only one thing for me to do. To dive into the water and give it battle. Unless I preferred it to come up and nibble at me with its 4 sets of teeth. He's
All
going
right.
to fucking take it to the
He's
man.
got a water fight.
This is like a highfalutin British, like Hercules.
Yeah,
He's like,
it
just
really-
fighting-
really is,
fighting,
yeah.
like-
Yeah, though this is like lumberjack lore for,
Bay Bridge.
the Union Jack, and I'm
Yeah.
all about it.
All right.
yeah,
there
no,
you
I'm
go.
in.
Caught him by the foot. I was so desperate that I decided to die hard. Devilishly hard. I never knew the origin of that phrase. I mean, I knew I'd heard it when the movie came out in
Right.
the 80s. And, everyone, it's a classic. It's fun. And Die Hard, he's like an ever-ready battery or something.
Yeah.
You work hard or whatever. But I've never actually heard it used in a sentence literally before reading this. He just decided to die hard. I dove in with my eyes open and swam all around but could see nothing of the monster. I swam back to the raft and pulled myself up. I had drawn up one foot when I felt something seize the other. I turned around, and there was the head of the thing. It had my right foot in its first set of teeth. Dash it all, but I was angry. And I struck the monster in the face with my doubled-up fist. With a cry of pain, it let go and sped off in the water. It made great waves as it went, overturning a number of rowboats. When I saw that it had gotten far off, I swam ashore, and in taking off my canvas shoes, I found 2 teeth stuck fast in the rubber sole. I will keep them as testimony of my rare experience. By Jove, and perchance when I die, I will leave them to the British Museum. That is the end of one of the greatest tales of 20th century
By Jove,
heroism.
I hope he fucking did.
Yeah. All right.
By Jove, I've never seen a follow-up.
No. So
by Jove, I've never heard of this story before this book.
He gave him the hammer.
The hammer.
Double up fist
Yep.
like this, and just gave him the old hammer.
This thing has a head, allegedly,
Yep.
the size of
6 eyes.
one of the great cathedral domes or
Yep.
one of those things.
And he punched
Like
it.
just
He
big.
swears by it. Yeah.
Bigger
Yeah.
than this fucking studio we're in.
Yeah.
And just one solid punch by a man's man, made
Yep.
of all sinew, gristle, and hunky manhood, as we know.
The husky hero.
Theophilus is, we all aspire.
Yeah.
He's a dream.
He is.
He's a dreamboat, and he's got a British accent. So he's already taken every girl we've ever loved from us in the past, future, and present. It's
There you
just the
go.
way it is.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 of the teeth to prove that this centipede from hell, all 6 eyes,
No, yeah, really?
all
What
8
the
arms,
fuck?
all the flippers, all
Hundreds-
150 fucking feet or
hundreds of
whatever it
legs.
was. This thing's real, and he punched it right in the fucking face,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he won the day.
And now he has the teeth so that they know.
It's proof.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this that I can question. Like, I know we like to put on our skeptic's hat sometimes and go, oh my God, this could be nothing. This to me is gospel.
Yeah,
This all rings so fucking true
This is-
that I don't know what to do with
this
it.
is canon.
Yeah.
This is actual fucking law. I mean,
This is definitely canon.
I wonder though. I wonder if we really did drop this off somewhere.
I mean, he could have fought some weird fish,
Now,
like,
this is full exaggeration. This is full on. This is not a fisherman story. Like, this is full on, big timing, fucking, folklore.
Yeah.
But that having been said, maybe some weird ass fucking eel. Maybe something 25 feet long. Plenty terrifying.
Well, yeah.
Dude, it could
yeah.
have been a fucking pike.
Four
They have-
sets of teeth?
They have crazy teeth.
6 eyes?
Well, not 6 eyes.
They're scary. Pike are
crazy.
terrifying.
Yeah, they got crazy
Gar are
teeth.
terrifying. even though
Yeah,
I
something
think they're
that
freshwater.
like a
possibly
walleye.
looks like a million flappers or feet.
I
Like,
mean, walleye have weird teeth too, and kind of funky eyes.
Or fish are long and odd. But
Yeah,
they
or
don't
fish
have
are, yeah.
they don't have that many fins. They're not aggressive. They're deep sea fish.
Yeah,
They look weird and sea serpenty, but really, there's nothing really monstrous about them.
this could have been a sea bass, and he's just like, I'm gonna make it sound cool.
Or it really could have been a cryptid. He could have had a
could've been.
genuine encounter with a large, predatory, weird-ass thing, and he swam back and survived, and he openly owns his fear, which is the one part that rings definitely true.
Mm-hmm.
You get in the middle of that fucking raft. Like, you're dangling your foot in the ocean, which is just a dumbass move at night anyway. Of course you move to the middle of the raft, terrified. And that swim ashore, even though it's just, glossed over, once it swam away, I went to the shore. Longest swim of your life. It always struck me that the most horrifying scene in Jaws is not all the terrifying parts. It's where Dreyfus and fucking Scheider are swimming back on that piece of, like, flotsam.
oh yeah, that's.
And they have to do that slow sideways swim
Yeah.
to fight the current. And the shark's dead, but you're just waiting for
Doesn't
the
matter.
irony.
Yeah.
The irony octopus to come and suck him down. As a kid, that always scared me the worst. Like, I was watching them as the end credits rolled, just waiting for them to disappear. And then
Yeah.
nothing more is said.
That's before every movie had to end horrible.
Yeah, the dark sequel
Yeah.
allowing fucking jump scare.
Yeah,
You're right.
You can't end movies good anymore. Like every movie used to be, like, or at least winning or something.
Yes.
It's got to end horrible.
I agree.
Every time now.
No, in the 70s they did it right because even like in The Exorcist,
Yeah,
I mean, the
right,
priest
right, right.
dies,
Right.
and the demon possesses him or whatever, but the little girl's saved.
Yeah.
They still play Tubular Bells, and they still show, and it's just like,
Right.
this shit's not over. You just know.
Sure.
It
There
just-
is one resolution, but another one kind of is a thing.
Yes.
But it's not like everyone's fucked. Like every movie now. It's
Yeah.
like- it's
No.
That long swim in, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, this guy, he double fisted it and fucking sent it back to the depths of hell.
The
whence it
briny
came.
depths. Fucking
Yeah, dude, the old double
Davy
fist.
Jones locker,
Yeah,
baby.
There it is. And who knows? Maybe you said maybe it was some kind of cryptid that he encountered and perchance punched it and fucking it was like, oh no.
I know. And
Just
what is known as the
jetted.
Davy Jones Smackdown from now on.
Yeah, Jesus. Double axe handle off the raft.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The
Actually,
double.
it's the Ivan Putski, the Polish hammer.
Yes, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
Ivan
I was trying to
Putski,
think of that.
yes.
100%. Nailed it.
The Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Now he had the what the hell did he have?
2x4.
Yeah, but he had like some.
He
Did
did
he
have
have,
a 2x4.
didn't he have a double fist move though, Jim Duggan? Maybe he didn't.
I mean, a couple
Might
people
have.
did it, but I mean, but that was Ivan Putski's ending move.
Yeah, that was his.
Yeah, it was
that
his
big
trademark.
one.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? No, oh no, he just did like a tack. Like he went down like he was going to tackle you, right? And then he clotheslined you. Isn't that what Hacksaw Jim Duggan did? Didn't he go over just to the
Oh.
opposite end of the ring and just get down and sort
It's
of
a
in like
long time ago.
I think
and
so.
run and just
then
like do a
he
clothesline?
would do, like,
Right?
The fake
Oh
clothesline.
my fucking God, that does sound right.
Right?
It
Isn't that
really
what I
does sound
I
right.
think it is. It sounds like it. Well, I mean, this dude, man,
Anyway.
he fucking he fucking did it. He fought the monster. He has the tooth, and who knows? Maybe today this tooth is out there somewhere.
In the British Museum.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hiding out in the
I know.
basement because
Yeah.
no one wants to deal with that.
Like,
the-
unfortunately, because of this journalism, like there's no way to discern any bit of truth.
Oh,
Like what is actually true?
Yeah, no, you can't.
Something was in the water, probably.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's fair.
I like Chris's assessment. That's great.
And that's
Dude could probably lift a 150-pound bale of cotton a foot off the ground for a moment or two. Maybe more. Maybe he was super buff.
Yeah.
He was not lifting 1,500 pounds of anything. The
or
last
more,
part
just
was,
shy of a ton.
I mean, it goes
More like
beyond
1,900
it goes
pounds.
beyond yellow journalism to like full frolicking folklore.
That's the problem.
Yeah, well,
It's the
like-
problem, but that's also why I
I love
included it as the last
but-
one because it's joy. The second
No,
one,
it's all joy.
the
but-
Calamity Demon it wasn't dubbed. The Republican wizards had a fucking
What?
Calamity Demon in the satchel,
Yeah.
Mr. Brady. But we'll call it the Calamity
Kind
Demon.
of sounds a lot like those, but we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think
What?
Roosevelt got into office?
Fucking
the first one,
the
Teddy.
spellbinders. Yeah.
It's
So-
the circle of Roosevelt's.
Yeah. What the fuck was the first? Oh, the first story was the sad vampire,
vampire,
story.
Yeah, that one kind of
Yeah.
so
was pretty
full of
straightforward and sad.
self-sacrifice. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
she's just
they're-
glad her mom is still around
Yeah.
to make more babies. Because her mom was still
She just-
relatively young, according to Prosper.
She just withers and dies of superstition.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Good
So
job.
maybe, I mean, she might have been just
Good job.
already sick, and
Yeah, she could have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Let's,
or maybe it really was a vampire. You never know, dude. It
all right,
could-
we can't rule out a vampire.
what?
We
It
can't
could've
rule
been
out
a
a sea
vampire.
monster. We can't rule out a robo demon.
Exactly. This could all be shit that actually happened, and people were like legit reporting on it. And here we are in 2022. Like, we don't know if these people knew what was even real or not.
That's true.
There you go.
You're
Could-
right.
This could be on us.
Why are we so high and fucking mighty?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what happened.
I mean, maybe people were really that strong at the turn of the century.
Gravity might have been
Just
completely
lifted
different. Who
shy of a
knows?
ton constantly.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right. Gravity was different back then.
We might have an
Science was
asteroid
different.
passing. Everything was different.
Science is different. Gravity was different. Things
Oh,
were
the Industrial Revolution made gravity
yeah, it
worse.
changed it.
Yes.
Things got heavier.
Because of all the metal.
Yeah.
Because all the metal and magnetism, boom, brought it back.
Oh, fucking
A
metal.
ton used to be just a couple hundred pounds.
Dude,
That's
man.
it.
Now,
Yeah, the new ton.
there
the
it
new,
is.
yeah,
The new ton's a son of a
but they
bitch. That's
dropped.
how they built the
dropped new
pyramids.
though because
Yeah.
they confused people
Yeah.
in the global.
And they used to spell it Tonne, and that really fucked people up. So no, Newton. No
Yeah.
thanks. No thank you, sir.
Oh,
So now we're living.
shit.
We're all heavy as shit. Nobody floats
Yeah, it's
anymore.
the millennial ton. It's the new. It's the,
millennial
it's
ton.
the new world ton.
Oh Jesus! All right, well there you have it. Those three
Holy shit.
stories came to us again from our good buddy Mr. Adam Benedict.
So good.
Buy his
so
books.
good.
The Pine Barrens Institute, Monsters in Print. He also has
so good.
available Ghosts in Print and Oddities in Print. And again, those links will be in the description of this podcast. You can go over there to Amazon. You can grab yourself a copy of that. And there it is. And again, check out Adam's work at the PineBarrensInstitute.com. He has a bunch of really fun stuff happening over there.
Totally.
Thank you so much, Adam. And the Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks, fellas, we're
They
there.
exist. And
There
we're,
we
and
are.
we're all there.
We're
At
making
least
it happen.
I'm not on Twitter yet. Probably never be on Twitter, but I am on Instagram now.
Yeah, no, we are there making
Yeah.
that happen. You can check out our merch at cryptonautmerch.com and also to hellorspace.com. Get your stuff over there. There are always, for Hell or Space, there's always sales going on, and I'm pretty sure by the time this comes out, there should be one happening. So you can, if you want to grab yourself some totes or something like that, go there to
Tees and
check
totes.
that out.
Yeah.
The patreon.com. $1 will get you the shout out and one bonus audio, and $5 will get you the shout out and 4 bonus audios with access to the Discord, which we have a movie night coming up. And I opened up my notes on my phone, October 21st. October 21st, 8:30 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
That's true.
Prince of Darkness.
Love it.
Come watch a movie with us, hang out. It's going to be super
So
fun.
stoked.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool.
God, I love that movie.
Definitely, it's awesome. So yeah, there you have it. That is everything. Thank you all so very much, and we're talking with you next week.
Heck yes.
Have a good week.
God bless.
Have a nice spooky week.
Really, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodbye.
Enjoy your time.
Have a good time, friends.
There you go.
Be safe. Love what you're doing. Love the people you're doing it with. And we'll talk to you soon.
Do some deucedly great things.
The deuce.
Deucedly.
If you don't deuce it the fuck up, then you are wasting your time.
We'll be talking to you.
I-